everyone, this is Veronica and today we are going to discuss Indian Medical Council Amendment Bill in detail. So for my video updates, you can follow me on Instagram and the PDF will be uploaded on my Facebook and Telegram channel. So guys, this is the channel StudyIQ. If you're preparing for any government exam, our pen drive and tablet courses are also available. And right now we are giving flat 60% off on various courses as a Makar Sankranti sale, and this is valid up to 15th of Jan 2019. For additional information, you can call on our numbers or you can visit our website. So what is the relevance? So you should know about what is Medical Council of India, when it was established, and about this bill, why we are bringing in this bill, what are the main features of the bill. Now see why it is in news, because Lok Sabha has recently passed Indian Medical Council Bill 2018 and they have brought in this bill because the scam tainted Medical Council of India, that is MCI, needed to be replaced. That is why, because there were a lot of complaints against the MCI and mismanagement of MCI. Now we should know what is this MCI, Medical Council of India. So this was a statutory body which used to set the standards for medical education in our country. It also recognizes medical qualifications, gave accreditation to medical schools, and grants registration to various medical practitioners, and it is overall the regulatory body for the medical practice in our country. Now see, the Medical Council of India was first established in 1934 under Indian Medical Council Act 1933. Now the council was later reconstituted under the Indian Medical Act 1956 that replaced the earlier act. Following this, the council was superseded by President of India and its functions were entrusted in Board of Governors that we are going to discuss now. Ordinance was passed and the present Board of Governors, it was notified around 30 May 2011. When we'll discuss the background of the whole case, you will get to know about it. Now see what are the major features of this bill. It is amending the Indian Medical Council Act 1956 that was set up because it was regulating the medical education and practice. This act regulates the medical education and practice. This also provides supersession of Medical Council of India for a period of 1 year. Now the powers, because this bill is superseding the MCI, that is Medical Council of India, the powers will be vested in BOG, that is Board of Governors, and this Board of who will constitute this Board of Governors? The eminent personalities like the Director of AIIMS and PGI Chandigarh. Now this board will continue till a council is constituted, and overall even BOG, it will be assisted by Secretary General who will be appointed by the central government of India. So these are the overall in brief the features of this bill, right? And this powers of council have been vested in BOG, which will be it will be led by Niti Aayog member also, and this Board of Governors will perform till alternative comes, and that means till a permanent legislation comes in, but the year of working will be 1 year. Now when we talk about the background of whole of this case, so you should know that 8 years back, 9 years back, when we go back to 2010, what happened? The Medical Council of India, it attracted huge attention because Ketan Desai, he was the president of Medical Regulatory Authority. He was removed after facing charges of corruption. But the whole saga of mismanagement and graft within the institution, it took an interesting turn when Ketan Desai, along with the 16 of the people who were actually charged on similar grounds, they were able to reinsure their renomination in the council in 2013. So these were the heights. Supreme Court took a notice, and this above narration regarding the MCI, it provided a glimpse of the level of mismanagement in one of the most high profile institutions in the country, which has been targeted for fierce criticism repeatedly, because many of the office bearers have been accused of taking bribes in lieu of expediting the accreditation process of medical college. They were recognizing the medical colleges, various colleges, by taking bribes. So now finally, passing of Medical Council Bill 2008 in the lower house on December 31st is a reformative step of NDA government aiming at bringing qualitative changes in medical education and regulating it. So this was the background, and one more thing that you should know, in the wake of all these allegations on MCI, the Supreme Court in 2016, they directed the government to constitute an oversight committee. Right. So in 2016, first oversight committee was constituted, and then in 2016, after the expiry of the first committee in 2017, another oversight committee was constituted with the approval of Supreme Court, and the second committee was chaired by V.K. Paul. He was a member of NITI Aayog, and there were doctors from AIIMS, PGI, NIMHANS. But later on, what we saw, this committee resigned. Why they resigned? They gave the reason that MCI is not listening to them, and there's total non-compliance of their instruction by MCI. So therefore, in 2018, government firstly passed an ordinance and to supersede MCI, and now they are forced to bring in this bill which will supersede MCI, and the powers will be vested in the BOG, that is Board of Governors, right? Now see, what are the key issues regarding the regulation of medical education and practice, that you need to see that why we are blaming MCI and we need reforms in this sector. So firstly, there is separation of regulatory powers. So over the years, the MCI has been criticized for its low and unwieldy function owing to concentration and centralization of all regulatory functions in one single body. So otherwise, there should be separate bodies for administration and different things, or for education administration, and then giving colleges the recognition, but all the powers were centralized in one single body. Now this is because this council regulates medical education as well as medical practice. Now in this context, there have been recommendations that all professional councils like MCI should be divested of their academic functions, which should be subsumed under an apex body for higher education to be called National Commission for Higher Education and Research. So this is one reason. Another is conflict of interest. Now just try to understand this point. With most members of MCI being elected, there has been conflict of interest whether the regulated will elect the regulators, preventing the entry of skilled professionals for the job. So the NITI Aayog committee recommended that a framework must be set up under which regulators are appointed through an independent selection process. Then there was an issue of fee regulation, because NITI Aayog Committee 2016 recommended that a medical regulatory authority such as MCI should not engage in fee regulation of private colleges. Such regulation of fee by regulatory authorities may encourage an underground economy for medical education seats with capitation fees. That is like any payment in excess of their regular fee. So they should be regulated. Now the fourth point is professional misconduct. Now the Standing Committee on Health 2016 observed that the present focus of MCI is only on licensing of medical colleges. Now, the committee recommended that the areas of medical education and medical practice should be separated in terms of enforcement of appropriate ethics for each of these stages. So, these were the main key issues regarding the regulation of medical education and practices. Now, see what can be done. Obviously, government has got introduced the bill now. So, Board of Governors is now to make much required reforms. They should bring in reforms in this area, and the long pending bill, National Medical Commission Bill, NMC bill, should be passed because it is a very major bill. A lot of protest has been seen from MCI and the Indian Medical Association also, but however, to bring in this bill is very important for a country. And obviously there are certain concerns within this bill, and government should put a focus on that and try to accommodate some of them. But however, there's a lot of significance of this bill because there's clubbing of influential medical practitioners who act without any fear of governance and regulations, because recent many reports by working groups on tertiary care institution for like 12th 5-year plan, it says that 1 million Indians die every year due to inadequate health facilities. 700 million people have no access to specialist care because 80% of specialists, they are working in urban areas. So MCI was supposed to regulate it, but they failed miserably to set the standards for our country and for the as an international committee. Therefore, we need to bring in reforms in our medical, or you can say in our health sector. We need to separate the medical education regulations and medical practice regulations. So this is about today's lecture, and the PDF will be available on the Telegram channel. Thank you.